Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Major issues coming out of one of the regional benefit offices for the VA in the tune of $2.2 million in inappropriate payments, all because a VA rater was just saying yes. I get it. We all want them to say yes, but if it's erroneous, the question now is, well, was your claim decided in this regional office? Just because you don't live there doesn't mean it wasn't sent through there, okay? The VA can bounce things all around and utilize different regional offices if need be to help with the claims process. So don't think of it as geographically where you're located. That's not necessarily true. So with that, let's dive into it. Before we do, though, I want to throw on a special thank you to Dan Ogaro. Dan Ogaro, thank you so much for the super chat, super comment thing. I really do appreciate your support very much, Dan. Dan Ogaro, 83, thank you. All right, so jumping into this, I found this it was in a few different spots, but this one specifically is on Stars and Stripes, and wanted to go ahead and go through this with you. And, maybe you need to go dust off that old decision letter so you can see if it was decided through this specific regional office. And if you can't figure it out, you can always, contact your local accredited VA rep. They can look at it for you. Or you can also log in to the VA's website and look at old decisions and so forth. You should be able to figure it out that way as well. So the headline here is VA Raiders Rubber Stamp Cost Millions, Watchdog Agency Says. This is by Jennifer Svan, Stars and Stripes. Came out not very long ago, a couple days ago here, I believe at the beginning of September, or the end of September, September 30th, 2025. All right, so jumping into it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend. The two asks to really look. Hit the thumbs up, let the video run. That helps to share this information so we know what's going on out there. And look, here's the kind of down the river from this. What sort of, I guess, protocols will be put into place to ensure that this type of stuff doesn't happen again? Is it going to potentially make VA claims more difficult to get through the process? Are VA raters going to be more strict and stringent on their decisions? There's a whole bunch of kind of collateral effects, if you will, and just kind of curious to see how we move along here. Anyway, jumping into it, disabled veterans in Philadelphia received about $2.2 million in improper payments after investigators found that a Department of Veterans Affairs senior rater approved numerous claims without reading them, a government watchdog agency report said. All right. Well, look, again, I mean, if you're the veteran, you're like, yeah, right? Until you hear this. So the federal worker authorized about 85,300 claims. Whew. 85,300 claims from at least 2022 to 2024, a rate of about 19 times the national average for the position. The high volume of approvals included underpayments and overpayments to veterans, regulatory violations that threaten veterans' benefits, and procedural deficiencies, the VA Inspector General said in a report released Monday. All right, so I just wanted to share a couple different things with you so you can understand the perspective and how all of this stuff works. So, number one, there's 56 VBA regional offices throughout the United States, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines that serve veterans and their families with benefits and services. The offices are often overseen by the Veterans Benefits Administration. These offices are overseen by the Veterans Benefits Administration and provide client services such as applying for benefits, education, jobs, home loans, and life insurance. All right, so now there are some offices that are more specific than others. That's a whole other thing. However, a misperception or misconception out there in the community is if I have a regional office in my state 2 hours from me, that's where my claim is going to get processed. Not necessarily, okay? Maybe, right? And it used to be that way more, I think, in the past, and it slowly kind of got away from that. And so I just pulled this up here to just kind of share with you how that works. So no, and this is important because you could not live in the area that there's a major issue and think, well, this doesn't affect me. It could. So, all right. So the question is, will my claim be processed in the nearest VA regional office? No. A VA claim is not automatically processed by your closest VA regional office. Most claims are routed into the national queue and are worked by different regional offices throughout the process to help with workload distribution and faster completion. So if this regional office is all caught up and ready to rock, and this one is overburdened, they're not going to keep sending it to this overburdened one. They'll shuffle some over there to that less busy one, so that way they can kind of pick up the slack. So you can file a claim in person at a VA regional office. Very rarely does that happen, but you could. But the claim itself will then enter the national system, not necessarily staying with that particular office. And I will tell you that as my experience is as an accredited veteran service officer running a team, you will go into the VBMS system, remote desktop into it from our offices, get in there and look, and you will see claims bouncing all over the place to different regional offices. It's to move along and try to expedite the process. So I'm going to touch on this a little bit more, then we'll jump back into the article. I do want to throw out that if you are in the need of strong, competent, and capable VA claims assistance, and you cannot find an accredited representative to help you who you feel comfortable with, we are here to help you. I've created evidence-based VA claims, and we can help you with your claim. Check it out. It is ebvaclaims.com. Information's in the description and in the comments. All right, so jumping back into this. The national queue, when you file a claim, it enters a national system, meaning it can be sent to any of the 56 regional offices to be processed. Workload distribution, the national routing, helps to balance the workload across all regional offices, potentially leading to quicker processing for your claim, especially if it went to Philadelphia to that specific rater who just says yes. Well, that was fast. So again, here we are, right? So specialized claims, some claims such as involving MST are handled by a specific regional center with trained raters. And that's what I was alluding to up front. There are certain areas where if you have a specific type of a claim, it's going to be handled by this more of a specialized group. All right. So anyway, enough about that. Let's jump back into this article here. All right. So this is just, it's a little bit unbelievable, actually. So the senior rater was the final employee to sign a claim, ensuring all information was correct and that veterans received appropriate benefits. The worker spent on average 4.7 minutes reviewing each claim authorized, compared to a national average of about 21 minutes for all other senior raters at veteran service centers, the report said. The IG received a confidential allegation in July of 2024 that the employee was blindly approving hundreds of rating decisions each day without conducting the required reviews, putting veterans' benefits and taxpayers' dollars at risk, the report said. And you know what? Good on whoever called this person out, because look, at the end of the day, every veteran deserves an appropriate rating based on the information that they gave. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. That's why at evidence-based VA claims, we focus on the evidence to get you properly rated for your specific condition. You are not flying blind. You are flying with education and understanding of the process. So it makes it easy for the VA to approve you in the right way. Anyway, let's move on. The investigation found that senior leaders within the department, including the Undersecretary for Benefits and the Deputy Undersecretary for Field Operations, were aware the employee had an unusually high authorization rate, the report said. In emails reviewed by the IG, one regional director wrote, in quotations, I am no expert in this space, but 3 claims in 2 minutes, as the transaction register says, tells me someone is just clicking the OK button, according to the report. In another email, the same director said, yep, we'll be doing a deep dive of their data process. The scary part is, and in parentheses here, the Philadelphia Regional Office Executive Director defended it, according to the report. Wonderful. Investigators reviewed a sample of 32 of the employees' decisions and found that 27 of the 32 had at least one error, according to the report. The report recommended that the Undersecretary for Benefits review processing errors identified during the audit and improve oversight. Here's my question to you, if you hung on till the end. If your claim was erroneously awarded in that time frame, 2022 to 2024 time frame, and it should have not been, now what? Is the VA coming after you? Going to reduce the payment? We're going to have to do back pay? What's happening? So it's important to figure this out earlier than later, is all I'm saying. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.